GT to a very thrilling full 5-game best-of-5, nearly making the finals themselves, and then having some trouble in the middle of this one. So we do see Rumble and Gragas going to be the first two bans right here. Rumble taken away from Smeb, usually a ban we see against CJ.
Yeah, Maokai banned out against the KOO Tigers here. Of course, Smeb has played a little bit of Maokai, but Smeb's more kind of just played whatever he's wanted to lately. It's a good kind of blanket ban overall, but I feel like it's just hard to ban out Smeb in general right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's extremely difficult, and it's even more tiring when they're on the red side, because KOO has run a lot of Victor bans. He's very consistent on that champion, and KOO on the red side will have no problem taking an early Victor here and just putting KOO on that, letting him safely farm in the lane, and then saving their top lane counter pick to deal with Shy.
Yeah, and the Rise ban going in against the KOO Tigers. We saw what Faker did on it in the mid lane the other day. We've seen what it can do in the top lane as well, too, so it's a pretty good ban. And the Alistar, so not wanting CJ to first pick that one. We'll see what they go with. So, Gragas, do you think Sivir's going to be the pickup here?
It really wouldn't surprise me if we saw Sivir this early on in the game. Could be the Rek'Sai, though. Definitely the big early game jungler that can stick around and still provide a lot of utility with the Tremor Sense and the Void Rush in the late game. So when Gragas isn't available, that is a very good first pick.
Wisdom's played plenty of Eve, and of course Eve does struggle a little bit against Rek'Sai because of that Tremor Sense, but we haven't really seen Korean junglers be too afraid to pick it anyway. Will we see this Shen here? That would be interesting.
I think Annie
There
Sivir,
we
yeah.
go.
Sivir is just going to be that first pick. She's so versatile right now, and so is Annie. Annie has been, especially last week, Annie really started to move up in terms of priority. And Gorilla does best on champions where he can be the engage for his team, where he can be Alistar, where he can be Annie, or even Nautilus with a hook. These are very important champions so that Gorilla can make the first move that is the rest of the team follows up on, because that is how they've had their successful skirmishes and their successful team fights.
Yeah. Now Coco's Azir has been amazing lately. He's
Incredible.
played it 3 out of his last 4 games, won them all. 71% win rate on this champion overall for him this season. Really, really good results on this Coco, and amazing mechanics too, man. Some of the best plays we've seen overall this season have come from Coco's Azir.
I am amazed at how good Coco is at Azir. He's definitely one of the best Azir players I've ever seen, and he pulls things out so flawlessly in terms of bending with his soldiers and making engages that, you know, I didn't really think was possible. And also Coco, he's not afraid to be really aggressive on this Azir.
Yeah.
He will go in first, absolutely, and the rest of his team has to follow up. Corki, gonna be the pick alongside that Azir.
Yep, it is interesting to see how he kind of uses that Azir to get a lot of burst damage done, get the enemy team in the position where the rest of his team can clean up, and if he dies, it doesn't really make a big difference.
So the question is, if you know Coco's going to be...
Here we go. CJ Entus versus the KOO Tigers in our first game of our first week of our second round of Champion Summer here on OGN. Now, last time out, CJ was able to win it in a very close 2-1. CJ really coming into this match with the momentum, though.
KOO.
KOO.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting composition here from CJ. I'm very curious how they're going to use it, because they're really committing to the engage from Azir as being that principal tool to get these team fights started. You know, Coco, if you had to ask me, pick one Azir in the world to provide your primary engage, one Azir player, I would say Coco, so it's not too crazy. And Coco with the cleanse as well to help deal with some of the hard CC from Annie and Nautilus, probably a good idea.
Should be able to handle it, yeah.
So, yeah, Space and Mad Life looks like we are going to see just a normal fan here at level 1. Both junglers starting in the bottom side, and that is going to be pretty straightforward. Actually, Shy coming down for a bit of a helping hand.
CJ did beat KOO last time, by the way.
Yeah.
That's what
Yes.
I said.
I know. CJ coming in as with the momentum was what I said.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I said KOO's coming in with the momentum.
Let's just drop it.
I'm totally confused now. All right. Well, starts on the bottom side of the map for both teams.
So yeah, coming into the bottom lane here, you'd expect that Prey and Gorilla will have a pretty big advantage early on in this matchup. Thresh is a lot less tanky than you might think at level 1 and level 2. So there is a certain amount of kill pressure right there, but it depends on what we're going to see from this start. Shy actually going to hit level 2 off of the shared XP before teleporting up into the top side. And fast push coming down from Smeb early on.
This will be an interesting one. Because Smeb does have a way to take Shen right out of that ultimate, of course, with the dredge line.
Yeah, there's,
With the taunt. So it might be kind of tough for Shy to get out of there if
yeah, especially, I mean,
he gets followed, yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, if he's close enough, he can use the depth charge. He's obviously got his passive as well. So there's a lot of ways for Smeb to shut down this Shen in the top side. But, you know, the Shen resurgence is a very interesting phenomenon. We've only seen 2 players play Shen so far. It has been Kuve, who took it away from CJ in their last match, and then Shy himself. And Shy going for the damage build, I think, is the right way to deal with this Shen. You need to provide some sort of damage threat, because being a pure tank with relatively limited CC options, especially if we compare him to a top lane Nautilus or something like that, he just doesn't have as much utility in team fights, that is.
Yeah,
of course, his global pressure is huge, and that's really why I can see more and more teams, especially Korean teams, using him, because Korea tends to be very macro-focused, and having 2 global teleports is incredibly valuable.
Yeah, I think Kuve demonstrated quite well what happens when you try for the tanky Shen right now. It does not work too well. That might have just been Kuve, but
yeah,
I feel like the Shy way to go is a better way.
There is an element of Samsung being overmatched by CJ involved in that, but yes, definitely. I agree with you that I much preferred Shy's way of playing the game. Smeb actually going back pretty early here for a second Doran's ring, and he's just going to actively push the waves, and that's one of Shen's faults, is his lack of wave clear before he gets Sunfire caved is quite pronounced, so you can really put the pressure on early if you want to.
Shy not doing a bad job of keeping up on CS. I mean, if anybody's going to be able to handle it, it is Shy. He is kind of, yeah, he's always been such a big Shen player. You know, I played some of the games with Annie with a reduced auto attack right now. It's not so bad.
Well,
it still makes me sad, but it's not so bad.
She still provides, you know, that instant cast ranged engage, which is, you know, it's relatively unique in League of Legends that you can have that long of an instant stun.
Yeah.
And so I think that they could make her a melee champion. She might still be used.
Well, maybe if they give her like a like Big Bear Arms is one of her abilities or something like that, you know?
Just grafts Tiber's arms onto her.
That's right.
That's right. That's what we need, is more human-animal hybrid experimentation.
Why not? Seems pretty popular right now, you know? We've got like Nami, and Azir's kind of like a bird dude.
Udyr.
Udyr, yeah. Udyr's got like 4 animals, you know? I mean, nobody's using him really at the pro level at the moment, so why not give the Bear Arms over to Annie for a little bit?
That's right. Just swap abilities.
I think you should take away Annie's shield and give her bear stance so she can just charge in and single target stun when she wants to too.
I think that's what Annie needs, is more stuns.
That's right. Only incorporate the shield from E into it, you know, naturally, because you want her to have some survivability, so.
Well, Smeb here going for the deep ward against Rek'Sai. And he just wants to keep pushing. That's the game plan right here. Interestingly, KOO, when they played that mid lane Echo, they opted to use the Echo ult just to get Kuro back into lane consistently. And they've been really liking playing a high turret pressure style recently. In their last couple of matches, this game included, considering we could see Kuro playing very far up in his lane and constantly shoving the wave under the turrets. So KOO's been, you know, for a team that would frequently kind of lose lane or lose those early towers, they've really changed it around to a much more aggressive style that focuses on a lot of chip damage in the laning phase now, and more advanced warding. We also saw, of course, Wisdom getting the deep pink wards. They have deep wards on either side of the map right now. KOO is very safe to kind of do whatever they want.
You do kind of wonder how much of that is influenced by the amount of solo queue these guys have been playing too, you know, where you are kind of forced to be more aggressive to try to grab those early advantages as fast as possible. It's interesting. It's a very positive change for this team too. They really needed it.
So, yeah, it definitely is a very big change.
Mad Life coming up to ward. Doesn't see the...
He's got a lantern out of
I
there.
think
They just
he's
want the
gotta
recall.
know.
They didn't get baited into that. So
Yeah.
basically, KOO just faked a recall right there, seeing if they would actually check the tri-brush. They still get something out of it. I mean, Wisdom is going to get a little bit of counter jungling here, rather, and Prager's going to walk back out of the river. So they knew they were in the tri-brush, saw it with the ward that Bad Life had placed. So they're not really going to they're not really going to do much in this situation.
Yeah, pretty passive early game in general here. Just a lot of farming going on.
Yeah, Shy choosing the Merc Treads just for a little bit of defense and eliminating
Style?
some
Oh.
style. Yes,
That's
you gotta
saved it for
you gotta have style for your ninja shoes.
That's right, man.
Notice that Shy is not playing with Ninja Tabby
Because he's not a ninja.
He's not a ninja.
Yeah. He's like, sorry, those boots are only reserved for ninjas. I can't buy those.
Nice hook.
Yeah, Gorilla gets grabbed. Actually, Ambition coming over the wall, too. There's a knockup. They activate the dragon, which pushes Gorilla back into the pit further. This is going to be first blood for sure. Ambition grabs it. Nice play using the CC from the dragon to keep Gorilla locked in.
Yeah, that was really interesting, too, because Gorilla was just trying to clear a tunnel right there, and Mad Life just happened to be in the right place at the right time because it didn't look like they had any wards in the pit right there, so Gorilla just going to go down for free, basically, but very good positioning, and since Kuro wasn't in the lane at the time, there really wasn't any way to respond from that, and that's one of the dangers of trying to be in the river when your mid laner isn't there. Do open yourself up for those possibilities, so Gorilla not really respecting CJ in that particular instance. Very odd way to get first blood, actually, but nice job by Mad Life.
Ambition Mad Life played it out very well. Meanwhile, Space getting a decent amount of farm here in the bot lane as well, too. Gorilla's back, good grab onto Prey. He had just used that spell shield. They're going to pull him in with the play as well. 2 more damage goes down. Ult has to be used. Prey so low. Dodges the rockets, but he manages to get away. Has to burn that summoner heal, though. End his ultimate. This might mean a dragon for CJ.
Yeah, how hard can they push this advantage right now? Coco's back in lane. Kuro's decided to go for both of his, or I shouldn't say both because there are 3, but 2 of his Hex Core upgrades right off the bat.
I guess it's a decent amount of AP as well along with it, so
yeah, usually
not bad for like an initial early burst of damage.
Yeah, and of course you do get that upgraded Q, which is very handy in the laning phase for making good trades.
Yeah, you want to avoid that damage from the Sand Soldiers. Does help. Wisdom coming down. Looks like they might try to pull something onto Space here. He's still got his summoners available, though, so it's going to be hard to lock him down. Going to need a very good Tibbers from Gorilla here. Tibbers has that stun loaded up, has his flash still, didn't use it when he died.
Yeah, but what is the follow-up going to be here? Because, you know...
Apparently nothing.
Yeah, there's no Sivir ult to chase down the Corki with 2 summoner spells and a Valk.
Yeah.
So very unlikely you're actually going to be able to pick up a kill in that situation. Not a lot of kill pressure on these lanes, actually, overall. Smeb in the top side. Probably going to be going for the Righteous Glory first. And now Ambition going to get out of the way. A little bit of a risky invade right there, but he had Mad Life to pull him out with the Lantern. So able to make it work and get those wards down.
Yeah, CJ's looking pretty strong so far in the early stages of the game. A lot of it's going to come down to the dragon fights. Oh, they find Wisdom in the jungle, too. Wisdom trying to get away, still has that flash to use. Oh, Mad Life barely misses that death sentence, and now they may be in a little bit of trouble. Ambition managing to burrow past the gravity field.
Yeah, have to burn.
Shy came down.
Yeah, have to burn that Shen ult, though, and that is going to be a little bit of a hit. He's going to teleport right back into the top side. So both globals used right there. That is not good, but you know, they tried to harass Wisdom. However, Kuro was able just to walk right back into his own jungle. Now, they thought they could get out with all their movement abilities and with the Lantern, but not really worth it at all. And a bit of an overextension there from CJ cost them some pretty important ults and summoners.
It's interesting, too, because so much of the last match these two teams played came down to fights around Dragon and the ability to kind of take and control Dragon. And so CJ gives up a lot of that by Shy having to use his teleport, having to use his ultimate. Let's see if KOO tries to take advantage of it, though. Pretty passive game overall, though.
Yeah, I mean, it has been. It's been every death so far has been a vision play around the ward. There's the flash hook.
Now they grab him. KOO just pushes him away, but the ult comes in from Smeb anyway. Gets low, nearly taken out by that ultimate from Victor. Didn't quite get it. Ambition getting chased, but he'll be able to burrow his way out of danger there.
Yeah, nice roam from the top side. Didn't expect Nautilus to come up there. That was enabled by the teleport play that was made earlier on. Of course, with Shy going out of lane, Smeb was able to push up and then open up the opportunity for him to roam into the mid lane without really losing all that much in terms of experience or creeps. So creative play there from Smeb, and they actually get both summoners out of KOO in that instance. So he may be targeted again, especially with this Annie on the map, making it very difficult for KOO to escape from future situations. Looks like they're going to go for the Dragon.
All of this certainly leading up to what should be a pretty comfortable Dragon for the KOO Tigers. There's just too much down on the side of CJ. Too many ults not available, teleport not available. They may try to steal it anyway, though.
And there we go, Sivir ult.
Wow, right onto KOO, they just evaporate him. Meanwhile, CJ turns onto the Dragon for a moment before trying to escape. KOO Tigers should still be able to claim it. They will. KOO just got a little bit too close, and they were able to blow him up with a combination of Tibbers and a few other hits from the KOO Tigers.
And I love that commitment to the engage from KOO. Just such a meticulous engage right there, going all in, using the flashes to make sure they could jump on KOO and safely secure the kill onto the Dragon. Kill goes over to Wisdom, and that's going to even us up in terms of gold, but you know, they use summoners for it, so there is going to be counterplay available from CJ Entus, but you know, they may not be able to find much with it right here.
Yeah, the objectives still should be pretty safe, and as long as KOO doesn't play too far forward, you know, they shouldn't be ganked very easily.
Yeah, they have great wave clear, so even though Shy has his ult back up right now, and they may find some room to make a play, it's going to be really hard for them to take a turret because they're just never going to have the minion waves there unless they attack at exactly the right time. Of course, Victor and Sivir very good at making sure that pressure doesn't ever hit the tower. And, you know, look at that, just a little bit of damage on the mid lane, more on the top side tower than anything else as KOO goes and snags another blue.
Yep, back to a bit of a farming game. But those towers starting to get just barely chipped away a little bit. A little bit on both sides, actually. And CS is about even. A little bit of a lead for CJ in all their lanes right now. But not a ton.
CJ has very good poke right now, and even with those little leads, now they're going to hit the Trinity Force. They have the Azir, so very good poke to make sure that people are removed from the areas around the Dragon Pit. And can they get this next objective is going to be the real key, because they should be the stronger team right now. Pray not get at that Infinity Edge, and KOO looks like he's going to be building an Abyssal Scepter, which is probably a good idea considering that he is really the sitting duck against KOO in space. He's going to be the one that's targeted in these team fights because Prey's going to have that spell shield, and here we go again.
Activated. They drop the Tibbers right onto Ambition. Ambition turns around, though. Mad Life drops that box. They try to get a knocked up, but goodbye Ambition. Goodbye Gorilla as well. 2 kills on each side. Shy comes down with the teleport. Oh, they got the ult onto Space. Space in a little bit of trouble. Has to Valkyrie away, turns around, and Smeb goes down. KOO with a kill onto him, and CJ taking this fight. KOO gets taken out after a death sentence from Mad Life. 1 kill in the end, a final parting blow from KOO, and it's a near double ace, but Shy comes out of it. See, he was very ninja there. He just like stayed out of it. He's like, nobody sees me, I can live.
I was going to say he was very Highlander because there could be only one.
I guess
at
so.
The end.
Depends on how you look at it, I suppose.
Gets all the buffs concentrated onto him with that double kill at the end. So let's take a look at this setup. So they're going to be, KOO is going to be the proactive team in terms of going after this gank. Gorilla burns that ultimate early, goes down as expected. So support for support, trading traded right there. Fast fingers from Shy. Now KOO a little late to this fight. Had he been about a second earlier, everyone on CJ would have been lined up for a near perfect Chaos Storm. Can't get that same hit though, and then KOO goes in afterwards with the shield on him in order to actually just finish up that kill right there. Very interesting play, but he went all in at the right time to keep himself alive. Madlife did die to the Hex Tech core upgrade from the Death Ray on Victor.
Well, in the end, gold lead a little bit in CJ's favor right now after that one, but not too much. Still a very close game. The question is, will CJ be able to get some objectives out of this? Gorilla coming down. He's got the stun with the Q. Shy going to be able to just crab walk his way out of there.
Yeah, they want this turret right now. They don't really think they're going to be able to kill Shy at this stage, especially with, an Annie, Evelyn, and a Nautilus.
Yeah.
Not the kill pressure there, but they do get that turret. And they've been working on that turret, getting that chip damage the entire game so far. Starting to come through, but on the other side of the map, Space will answer with that Trinity Force Corki.
And that's exactly what the KOO Tigers needed right now as well, too, to just kind of stay in the game, get a little bit more map pressure on. Tying up the turrets. About a minute till the next dragon, and we'll see if KOO can take that one.
So Wisdom, though, he's got the Aegis right now, and CJ's composition is pretty darn vulnerable to MR stacking. That Corki and the Azir, and while Shy probably will be building Trinity Force, he usually goes Cowl into Phage or Phage into Cowl right after his Sunfire. We think we can assume that he's going to be building that item, so they do have a bit of attack damage with the Sheen.
You'd think so. CJ moving up. They want to take this mid lane turret. Smeb coming down. Doesn't have that teleport. It's going to take a while. Death Sentence onto KOO, but no follow-up, except for a rocket from space.
Yeah,
The player space, not the place space. Space rockets would be pretty cool, though.
well, yeah, that's where rockets
Orbital
belong,
lasers.
right?
Well, generally, yeah. I think so. It's quite the political statement, Monty. Oh, Wisdom gets grabbed. He's okay for now. And they think about coming in, but both teams playing it pretty tentatively right now.
Yeah, Shy with the double global, so he's going to be able to get some pressure down on the top side. So KOO really has to commit to pushing down this mid lane turret right now. Uh-oh, Coco's
we've
doing
seen
his
this
Coco
before.
thing.
Yeah, we've seen KOO make some pretty amazing plays out of the Raptor pit, which seems appropriate with Azir. KOO Tigers maneuvering down to try to maybe put some pressure onto this dragon. Fight on their terms. They're going to go ahead and activate it. They've got the speed shrine. And can CJ contest this? We'll see. Dragon going down very quickly. Nice zoning from KOO. They may come in here. Ambition comes in to try to take it too late. KOO's already got Ambition. Gets taken out as well. Smeb grabbed by the Descendant. So the KOO Tigers have a pretty good angle on this fight. Actually, wow, KOO managed to get out of it, though. Still alive right now. Shy gets into the back lines, gets a nice taunt off. Shy with the kill. There's one for KOO as well. CJ turning that one around. KOO just barely able to get away from certain death, and then CJ turns around. Shy had a great taunt, and he's not done yet. Trying to intercept Gorilla, and they get him. Goodbye. Wow. CJ with some great team fighting today.
Yeah, this is a very messy team fight, at least at the start. But then when we see what happens with KOO's Azir, he really comes in and makes a very big difference with his committed engage. In fact, actually managing to get out of that one with the help of his summoner spells as well. And Shy's ult, pretty darn convincing too, to get into the fight as Ambition's going down. Barely actually managed to make the TP in time before Ambition died, but that's going to be a very nice fight by CJ Entus, and they're coming out with a big lead.
Yeah, that's going to go ahead and give them a lead in turrets by 3 right now. Pretty amazing.
Yeah,
That was so fast, too,
Yeah.
blowing open that turret lead.
yeah, this is going to be CJ and their power spike. They want to fight with that Corki right now. The big problem is that KOO still has all of the dragons, and this is a team composition that I think is going to scale a little bit better. How are you going to kill this Nautilus in the late game if you're CJ Entus once he really starts to get tanky? Because remember, he started with the Righteous Glory, which gives him some decent stats, but is by no means an item like a Frozen Heart or a Banshee's Veil that is really going to make him very damage resistant.
Well, I think the bigger question is Smeb going to be there in team fights? I mean, that's the tricky part. You've got Shy, who's so mobile as far as his double globals go. Smeb has his teleport, but that's all he has. You know, he has to rely on his own 2 big metal feet to get him to fights in the meantime.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, they're going to find Ambition, though. Another pick onto him. Mad Life takes him off the Lantern. Flash ultimate on the Mad Life. Smeb going deep for this one. KOO really wants this pick, but with KOO there, they have to turn it around, just barely. Not able to finish off that gank. Thought they had an opportunity. Shy, meanwhile, going to the bottom lane to start doing a little bit more split pushing. Oh, Space. E-Vault, Space Valks away, but that's a lot of damage. Flash, oh, he gets the Lantern anyway.
Wow, right there, yet
Man.
again, a Flash Lantern. And you have to respect Mad Life's Lanterns
No
this
kidding.
game so much because they really have been the difference in this game for CJ Entus. He has gotten the deep wards in with Ambition and then gotten Ambition out safely on multiple occasions where he really has no right to be invading the enemy jungle, as you can see from the collapses from KOO. But Mad Life absolutely everywhere to help save his teammates. And this is making a big difference because CJ is able to set the tempo of this game by getting the deep wards and the advanced pressure on this map. And that is really what has helped CJ snowball this game so far.
It's a really interesting use, too, of Thresh, too, to kind of use that Lantern to allow your jungler to go in there and play the warding game on what would normally be a very overly aggressive level.
Yeah.
But if you've got the Lantern, you can get him out. It's really kind of an interesting little modification.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen this before, but I've never seen it this many times in a single game. You can really tell that Ambition and Mad Life are working well together in this regard.
Yeah, for sure. And the KOO Tigers, you know, what can they do? They're 6K gold behind now, about 5K gold actually, I suppose. Do you just kind of try to hold things down until the next dragon comes back? I mean, they're losing so much vision on the map, it's going to be really hard to take any dragons from here on out anyway.
Yeah, but since you already have the first 2, you're not really that concerned with, you know, CJ getting 1 or 2 right now. If you can play back, get a couple more turrets, then you're within striking distance. And KOO, they've got a lot of damage on this composition. The Sivir, more than likely, will be able to carry harder in the late game. And KOO also just has more reliable engage with On the Hunt and the Tibbers, so...
They're also starting to build up quite a bit of MR now.
Yeah.
That's going to make it a little bit tougher for KOO to do his thing.
You're absolutely right. It definitely will. And they have 2 Righteous Glories alongside the On the Hunt, so they can continue to try and make picks here. And I think for me, the question is whether Mad Life will be there to continue making these plays. Because he's been very good this game about stuffing the picks so far.
We'll see. Smeb moving down to the bottom lane to try to do something about that split push from Shy. Kuro taking the Raptor in the bush, hiding it away. Oh, starting the anchor out.
Yeah, not really going to get too much done right there, but Smeb is slowly starting to push this one back against Shy. Now, Shy didn't go. He completed the Spirit Visage before going for the start of a Trinity Force right now. And now they're going to try and collapse onto Smeb. Smeb's got
in big
TP.
trouble.
Yeah, he's fine.
Has to teleport. Is the taunt cooldown back? No, just barely gets out in time.
Wow, really very close
Yeah.
to that taunt cooldown right there, but Smeb had the timing on it, was able to correctly predict that after the last taunt was used to get out of danger, but now 2 globals on the side of CJ, and this is why this Shen is so good. You know, he's been getting these incremental buffs. Now he's better at split pushing than he was before with his passive being up more frequently, and he did have that CDR buff a couple patches ago.
Oh, grab onto Kuro, but KOO's still coming down onto this dragon here. Ambition, CJ a little bit split up here. Can they make something happen? Dragon getting very low. Lantern goes in. They're going to walk up. Dragon actually taken by the KOO Tigers. Prey was able to just take it with a little bit of damage.
Wow, that was Wisdom and Prey combining to take
so.
that. Ambition not even using his smite. And CJ couldn't find the engage there either. KOO gets away with murder a little bit, just swooping in. When Shy has those 2 globals up, he used one of them, but just couldn't get in. Wisdom takes the blue buff as well.
That's pretty important for KOO to get that 3 dragon advantage. That's single-handedly kind of keeping them in this game right now.
And that's more movement speed that they can make that they have for picks as well. As if they needed more, 2 Righteous Glories and a Civ-Roll. Not quite enough for KOO this game. Now they have a dragon stack.
The more the merrier, man.
The more speed, the merrier.
That's right. Just need Zillion to speed everybody up too.
Where's Rammus?
Throw a mid-Karma in there. Yeah.
Jace Gates.
That's right.
We haven't seen new Jace yet here in Korea. I'm a bit sad about that.
I'm a bit surprised because KOO has always been such a big Jace player, even this season.
Yeah.
But with the way he's been playing in Azir, I can't really blame him, I guess. If Azir is open, you should probably take it right now.
Yeah, definitely a more safe champion, too, in most traditional matchups. And, of course, now we see the Trinity Force beginning. For Shy, always starting, of course, with that Phage, and then moving on from there. KOO can't really make picks onto Shen, though, which is a big problem in this game because they can't allocate enough damage to actually take out the Shen. So stopping him has been a bit problematic.
Well, his split push is going to be extremely strong whenever Smeb's teleport isn't up, too, because, yeah, Smeb has to go up and defend it, but then Shy has the ability to make most fights a 5v4, depending on if everybody mates up. At least Smeb has some wave clear. You know, he can push the lane back fairly easily.
That is the nice thing about the Nautilus, is that you can just spam the Riptide. And even though this Shen has this Sunfire cape, you're still going to have that wave clear there. Now we see a potential flank coming in from Ambition, but KOO wisely just backing away. CJ continues to move that ward line forward, looking really good for them so far. They've done a great job of capitalizing on their power spike with the Corki. And now, can they close the game out? Certainly they have a very respectable lead.
KOO Tigers trying to find an opportunity to hide in a brush, maybe for a pick here. Got the pink ward. Oh, it's going to be Baron from CJ, though. That seems a bit brave, as it will be more or less spotted.
Yeah, they definitely see this. Now, how much is this going to hurt CJ? They're going to come around. Mad Life going to die instantly.
Yeah, Mad Life, though, allowing his team to take that Baron, but at what cost? Here we go. Shy comes in. Timber's pushed away, though. Kuro getting a little bit of damage done. KOO has used that Emperor's Divide already, so that's out of the way. If KOO can catch up, it could be bad. Wisdom coming in. Doesn't have his ult, though. Space a little bit on his own.
There's a lantern.
He'll get back.
Oh, there's no lantern. Mad Life is dead.
Yeah, that's true. It looks like CJ's okay either way, though. So a bit of a risk, but giving up Mad Life for Baron, not bad.
Great disengage from CJ, however. They came in there, and then the Azir wall was used instantly while Mad Life bought them time. And then they clogged the choke with Corki Rockets and Sand Soldiers just so they could disengage in a very good way. Now Shy going to go back, and you know the KOO Tigers, they don't really have anything to deal with this. The siege from CJ is still extremely strong. And even with that wave clear, these super minion waves with the Azir are going to be difficult. Now they're just going to actually teleport in.
Shy tried to teleport in for a taunt there with Home Guard, didn't really find it. They get the tier 2 turret anyway.
Nice port though, Shy.
Yeah.
He knows his ult's going to be back up by the next time he needs it to split push, so why not go ahead, keep that minion alive in front of the turret for just a little bit longer and allow them to successfully siege and snowball this game. CJ's playing very well.
CJ's got all the pressure right now. KOO Tigers are scrambling to defend this tier 2 turret at the top. Looks like they've got enough wave clear for now, for the moment anyway. We'll see how aggressive Shy wants to play this. A little bit of damage done to that turret, but not a whole lot. Yeah. Meanwhile, a big crowd building up in bot lane.
Yeah, somebody's gonna have to go clear that. Smeb has TP, but they're finally gonna go do it after the tier 2 goes down. This probably means they can't defend the tier 2 in the top side either. Pretty big risk here for KOO to continue to position in the defense of a tier 2 tower when their top laner's on the bottom. Yeah, they just have to give this up. It's too risky.
Yeah, there it goes. KOO takes out the turret. Smeb pushes back bot lane, but doesn't look like it'll be for a whole lot of time. KOO may, wow, Prey's so chunked out, it's going to be really hard for KOO to engage here.
Yeah, Siege continuing. The Baron buff is getting relatively low, though, so it doesn't seem like CJ is going to be able to crack the base. And again, remember their form of engage is really this Azir ult, and if he gets under the turret, he's going to start to take a lot of damage. So that's not necessarily the best way to deal with this. And the wave clear is good enough that there's not really a whole lot of options here. So I'm going to get grabbed, but
yeah, played in. Mad Life uses the box, but Smeb able to repel to the wall and get away.
Wave clear still around also. So yeah, CJ, they just don't have the tools necessary. They have that great siege and they have that great poke, but it's getting countered by the Tigers' just presence in terms of the wave clear. And CJ not yet ahead enough that they're going to be able to dive, particularly with the composition that they have.
Yeah, Ambition doing a good job of clearing out the enemy jungle, though. Not really leaving the KOO Tigers with much at all. KOO Tigers are just going to bull rush this mid lane, it looks like. Dragon is up. And if they could grab their fourth, again, you know, it feels like these Dragons are keeping the game. While they jump onto Wisdom, Ambition knocking him up. Oh, they pull it back in again. Ambition getting low yet again. Evault uses. Shy tries to come to the back line. Space. They have the Chaos Storm over top of him. A kill comes in for the KOO Tigers. Prey picks up the first one on Ambition. Scuttle Crab taken by the KOO Tigers. And KOO has a lot of poke. And the KOO Tigers maybe a little bit low health on some of their members.
Yeah, but they're only 4 members alive for CJ right now, with Ambition going down, and KOO actually may be able to take this Dragon. They're slowly moving in. CJ's going to have to back off, so that's Dragon number 4 actually for KOO. And the big problem with that is, yes, there's a very large gold lead, but 3 to 4K of that was actually CJ. It was in the bank for CJ, because remember, they had just taken down the entire outer ring of the turrets right there, or inner ring rather. So there was just a lot of gold that hadn't been turned into items yet. So the deficit wasn't as severe as it might have otherwise been, and that combined with a 5v4 means CJ's going to play the safe game, but that leaves them in a very interesting predicament.
Well, they have to really hope that they can win the next team fight by Dragon.
Yeah.
Because if they can't, then KOO Tigers can easily just bulldoze their way right through whatever objective CJ has been protecting all game.
Yeah, Wisdom just going in for a little check right there, knows that Shy and KOO are taking away the red buff.
Shy's look good again on this Shen. 4-0-5. Has been making a difference in the split push in team fights, but they just haven't been able to control the Dragon.
Yeah, this is, it's been interesting from CJ. It has been, to a certain degree, a bit lucky for KOO as well that they've had these opportunities. They need to make a pick right now. There goes the Sivir ult.
They're going to go after Shen here, and it's a longer death timer now, 34 minutes. Can they catch him? Gorilla comes in to use the Evault. Gorilla saving that stun, waiting for it. Shy gets so low, they burn a lot on him, but it works. That's a pick. What will they give up for it, though?
Yeah, they're going to have to start recalling immediately right here. Can they get back in time? Because the inhibitor is the most important factor, and it looks like they're starting to filter back into the base right now. The minion wave isn't there yet, and they may have just gotten away with that one for free.
I think so. They weren't able to really push any more turrets down with it, but they were able to at least make a pick. Still 7K gold down. It's weird because you watch this game and it doesn't seem... It seems very close, but then you look at the gold total and it seems like CJ is way ahead. Well, I think this is one of those games where the gold lead is not everything.
Yeah, CJ just also KOO playing their team comp correctly also. I mean, just, that was, they knew they needed to make a pick to have the presence around this Baron. Now they're going to get some wards down, and that one pick really translates to a lot. They didn't lose an inhibitor turret or an inhibitor. They got enough vision around the Baron that it's not going to be a free takeaway from CJ. It's going to take them more time, so CJ getting stalled out here. And this has always been one of the factors that the KOO Tigers have, is that they have such good shot calling. They're able to play from behind, I think, better than any other team here in Korea.
Yeah, very true. And if we go back to the last match, these two teams played too. A lot of it did go around KOO able to control the Dragon for that first game, which CJ did still lose.
Interesting build from KOO, going straight into the Void Staff, but with all the MR on the opposite team, the Abyssal, the 2 Spirit Visage, this might be a very good choice for him. Obviously, he's a little bit behind in terms of his itemizations, having to go for 2 Magic Pen items flat and percent before really stacking any AP, but it may be a necessary evil at this point in time. Smeb getting just ludicrously tanky.
Yeah. And able to do a little bit of split pushing of his own now that he's got that teleport up too.
Well, this is very methodical from KOO. They know they can reclaim some easy gold, start to cut down that gold lead by taking the remainder of the outer ring of turrets. You know, the fact they haven't done it 36 minutes rather into this game is problematic, but they're finally getting that map pressure down. Here we go.
Yep, bears up, Tippers goes down onto KOO. They pull him out on the Lantern anyway. CJ on the disengage right now. Ambition getting chased out. Space creating a lot of zone for himself there.
That was a lot of the engage from the Tigers gone there, though, for a bit of a hope that they would take out KOO. KOO did have to burn his cleanse, but that was flash used from Gorilla. Here we go, Void Rush, and Ambition's right back in.
That's right, Baron being taken. Smeb right there as well, too. Baron's going to do a lot of damage. They're going to grab Ambition, Smeb, and Wisdom backing away. Alt used, Wisdom getting very low. KOO laying down a ton of damage, though, with that Chaos Storm, and KOO Tigers may have it. KOO dives into the back lines, but gets taken out. He had to do something, but it was already too late. KOO Tigers, what a great engage from KOO, getting so much damage done when CJ grouped up, and that's going to be a Baron most likely for KOO. Space going to try and be a hero here. He gets grabbed, though, gets taken out. No Lantern for you this time, and a flash from KOO to try to take down Madlife.
Here we go, TP.
Yeah, that's right, Shy coming in. They may not get this Dragon. Shy gets slowed. Really needs to get out of there, man. I don't think this is time to take the Baron. Nope.
Well, no Baron taken, but a very important team fight win from KOO. Nice save by Shy at the end as they had chased everyone out of that engagement, but CJ making a massive error. You cannot go back into that choke against a Victor. That is going to cause you immense problems.
KOO did so much damage that fight. That was disgusting.
Prayed it too. When everybody was grouped up right there, the ricochets and the boomerang blades were doing a lot of work. So CJ, I think that them forcing the Baron necessarily isn't that big of an issue, but if you're going to start to fight after that, even though you have a great kiting comp, you cannot kite into a choke point like that. It was just quite easy, actually, for Victor to set that up.
KOO wants to try to take this Baron again. It looks like they're going to restart it. CJ, not going to get... Oh, no, they're going to go and catch Ambition. Whoa, Ambition getting a little bit too close. Nice turnaround by the KOO Tigers. They use that Chaos Storm, though. They're going to turn back on the Baron. With no jungler, though, CJ's going to have to let this one go. They're going to go down and take this Dragon, but KOO could chase. Can they actually get there to take this 5th Dragon?
Oh, yes, they can, Noah. There's no smite on CJ Entus right now.
Boy.
This has been such a beautiful display of the KOO Tigers playing to their win conditions because they kept making picks. They kept using their speed advantage. They kept going after it, forcing objectives, and then turning this game around by forcing CJ to play around them.
Wow, CJ needs to do something desperate here. Otherwise, this is going to be a Baron and 5 Dragons. It is for the KOO Tigers. A huge power play for them for the next few minutes of the game. Now, what can they get out of it? Still down 3-6 on turrets. But man, with a buff like this, you'd have to think they can do something with it.
Yeah, they can. And KOO, they've just been doing work because they're not afraid to make the risky, aggressive plays right now because that's the only way they can get back into the game. But CJ, with a late setup after losing that first Baron fight, not being able to get the position on it once again, forces Ambition to do a little bit of blind face checking. And in a heartbeat, the KOO again just committing to the team fight instantly and then making the plays to follow up.
Well, this, again, this was just one of those games where the gold lead just doesn't matter, man. Remember, KOO Tigers were 7,000 gold behind not too long ago.
They're actually up to 9,000, I believe, at the peak in this game. That was turned around pretty fast because that was when they won the fight at the Dragon because there was so much unused gold on CJ.
Either way, it just goes to show in a close game like this, one small mistake, one little positioning error by CJ, and now look what happens. They grab Ambition again. Either way, they're going to get this tier 2, and they're not going to stop there. Shy recalling now to get back to help his team, and they need it.
Yeah, they're just going to keep on pushing through right now. Not really anything that can be done to stop them with a Baron buff and a 5th Dragon. That's guaranteed a lost fight for CJ, barring some miracle.
KOO Tigers. Tigers are a fearsome animal, but as we see Prey get chunked out, KOO Tigers is looking more like a rhinoceros or maybe like a stampeding elephant at the moment.
Well, you
just got to get out of the way.
You know the most dangerous thing, besides a tiger, of course, is a wounded tiger because they fight to the bitter end.
That is true. You don't want to corner a wounded tiger, otherwise this is what happens.
Yeah, that is definitely what KOO is showing us this game. They have been very tenacious.
Maybe a bit of a hippopotamus as well. One of the most dangerous animals in the world.
Here we go.
There's Sivir activating that ult like a stampeding hippopotamus. KOO Tiger come in. Space has a decent zone. Smeb, though, getting into the back lines. KOO able to get the kill onto Ambition here. KOO manages to jump behind KOO Tigers, and he is starting to do some serious work on this Azir. Prey still full health, though. Everybody avoiding. Wow, KOO with the double kill. KOO with the triple kill, and he's not done yet. No, never mind, he is done. Prey scuttle crabbing it up, but Shy comes in. Double kill for Prey, but he's got to get out of there. Smeb teleporting. Now it's a 1v2. Tank wars are back, but Space may be able to turn the tides. This fight is still going, and Space, oh no, Space, he's got to get out of there. Oh, they barely take him down, and that's an ace now for CJ. KOO Tigers perhaps overextending just a little bit.
But there's nothing for CJ to take. They have super minions. They lost one inhibitor. They have another exposed. So there's really no problem with KOO kind of all-inning right there because CJ can't respond in any kind of meaningful way. Space also got saved there, by the way, by the Shen swords. He was healing off of the Shen swords, but that was funny. Anyway, so the engage here, they want to dive this. Space actually just going to QSS immediately, and KOO has this setup here, gets all of the poke into the side. KOO and Wisdom just can't get over there. Great combo, and then a flash over the wall. So KOO once again doing beautiful positioning work on this Azir.
I really feel like you need to ban KOO's Azir.
It's crazy.
It's getting way too good.
It's getting nuts, and look at that play that he's able to make for the triple kill. Such calm patience on the outside, waiting for that opportunity instead of just throwing himself right back in the mix. Now, Smeb's going to come here, and Space really, really benefits from the lifesteal tanking he was basically doing. And
oh boy, Shy, can they catch him? No, I guess not. It just also shows what a not ninja Shen is when he even does something to deliberately show who he's attacking. It's like, hey, look at this. Swords above their head. Feel free to hit him too. This is the person I'm trying to assassinate right now. Wow. Just when he thought there weren't more ways where Shen could be a bad ninja.
Well, I don't think there are too many more of those ways in existence.
I think that's the first new one we've discovered in a while.
That's true.
Yep.
I'm not really sure what Riot could have done to design a less ninja-like ninja in every possible capacity.
There's never been.
Maybe given him guns instead of swords. I don't really know. Like a big minigun or something like that, or a bazooka.
Oh yeah, because if you give him like pistols and he's got like silencers on it, that's still more stealthy than throwing swords at people. Yeah.
How does he get his swords back once he throws them? Are they like Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, where it just totally like returns to his hand?
Yeah. Definitely the Mjolnir effect there. Only Shen can pick them up though. Captain America, a little bit here and there.
Was the Mjolnir effect the name of one of your bands in college too?
It was. It was kind of during our Fish
or high
phase,
school.
You're into Fish, Flaming Lips. It was that kind of phase,
more prog rock with the flaming.
Yeah, a bit.
Lips then. Okay.
A bit. Like you do. Well, this game is extremely close again. CJ fighting back a bit. Baron and Dragon both coming up within 30 seconds of each other. And this has been an exciting one. I mean, these two teams, CJ certainly playing a bit better than we've seen them play in recent weeks against top teams. So it's a bit of a fresh air to see CJ do so well too.
Yeah, now they've got that poke. They're starting to control those choke points very well. This Dragon's live, but they actually have to start it if they're going to be a threat right here. Notice that Wisdom's already set up for the flank. Here we go.
He's coming in, ult onto KOO already, and Wisdom also as well. They drop Timbers as well. KOO taken out so fast, and can CJ win a fight without the Azir? Doesn't look like it. KOO Tigers just massacres CJ Entus. That was Operation Kill KOO, and it went off without a hitch. Fifth Dragon again. Let's just waltz up and take a Baron as well.
Well, and this is one of the problems,
they can just end, actually, can't they?
Yeah, this is one of the problems when you reach 6 items on a lot of these champions, is there were no pink wards for CJ to flank. They needed a pink ward on their flank so they could see that Wisdom's coming in. But what a great engage there.
No kidding. That was just like, let's put everything onto KOO. Well, let's just kill the Azir, and it worked.
He's the only major damage threat on the team. Corki's just not doing that much this late in the game, and the KOO Tigers gonna come back, gonna take the gold lead.
Wow, and they're gonna take the game as well, too. KOO Tigers down 9K gold at one point in this game, coming back and winning it. GG, what a